In 2010, the ABC revealed the alleged rape of 3 intellectually disabled women living in a Melbourne care home run by the Department of Human Services. 2 years on, police have laid some charges, giving hope to the victims and their families that justice will be done. Kirsten Vaness has this exclusive report.
Sandra is the mother of a woman she believes has been sexually assaulted while living in a state-run residential home. Her case is particularly distressing because her daughter has an intellectual disability and difficulty communicating.
This is an outrageous thing that's happened, and I can't wait to see the justice.
Sandra's daughter is believed to be one of several victims of abuse, allegedly by a male staff member. She's been waiting 2 years for police to gather enough evidence to take the matter to court.
She's had lots of interviews with the police and things like that, and I've had to be around. It's been hard.
A man who can't be named for legal reasons has been charged with rape and indecent assault and will appear in court in June. It's understood police were investigating allegations concerning 3 women at the DHS facility, but the charges only relate to 1 woman. Sandra says it's disappointing that charges don't relate to her daughter, but understands the difficulty police can have in gathering evidence.
Well, my daughter has got a disability that's a little bit worse than the other lass, and she wouldn't be able to stand up in court. However, there were videos and that taken of her straight after the incident, and she was very, very good. She acted out the whole incident, but even though the police prosecutor interviewed her and felt that she would have been okay, they've obviously decided not to.
Advocacy groups say the latest charges are a breakthrough.
It's extremely significant, particularly obviously for the people involved and their families. I guess we see many cases that don't actually gather sufficient evidence to proceed to the making of charges, and people are left feeling very, very damaged and vulnerable as a result.
There are all sorts of hurdles. There are people think you won't cope with the judicial system, you won't cope with making a statement. So not for any negative reason, they're trying to actually be helpful. They would probably discourage someone from reporting.
Carolyn Worth helps people who have been sexually abused to access the justice system.
They need to have the language that in fact enables people to believe them. So there was a case a few years ago of a young woman who used a communication board, which is a board where you press words and they come up on a screen. And they didn't have the words there. There wasn't the word penis or vagina, so she was actually almost unable to explain what had happened.
Sandra says her daughter would find explaining what happened difficult.
If you asked her a question, she's got this habit of saying, I don't know. And the bottom line is she does know, but she just doesn't want to talk about it.
While getting matters to proceed in court remains rare, Valid says there has been a spike in the reporting of sexual abuse. Thousands of people with intellectual disabilities live in residential accommodation in Victoria, with 24-hour staff supervision.
We can certainly say that over the last several years, probably 3 to 4 years, we have seen an increase in the number of incidents of abuse of people living in shared supported accommodation. That's borne out by other sources, investigators who get involved in these sorts of cases. I'm not quite sure if that's a feature of an increase in the actual incidents or in the increased confidence of people to actually stand up and report it. I hope it's the latter.
Kevin Stone says part of the problem in reporting can be the cover-up culture of some care facilities.
And we have to say, what does government do about that? The good staff who are in many of these places, who are often feeling too scared to speak up because of perhaps intimidation by other stronger predators within a certain situation, or the concern that they will not be supported by their own management. And that's of serious concern.
The laying of charges in this particular case has another effect. A lawyer representing the families of the alleged victims says he's looking into suing the Department of Human Services for negligence. And he says the criminal charges make his civil case stronger.
I'd want to see justice done here. Yeah. For all the girls concerned, not just my daughter, but for all of them. And for those that are not mentioned here, because I'm quite sure that this has happened before in community residential houses that have been run by DHS.